Alright, what's up guys? We should be live. I appreciate you guys tuning in once again for another big slate, 9-gamer tonight. News-wise today, there's some big question marks on the slate that we're going to have to kind of wait and see on. Jokic is questionable. It's the second night of a back-to-back. Jokic was questionable yesterday. He ultimately wound up playing. It was a blowout. I think Jokic is going to play again. Normally when he's questionable, he usually always plays. That'll be big news to keep an eye on. Jokic now questionable. We got some news from Utah, so they're going to be kind of shorthanded in the front court. Rudy Gobert was already ruled out today, and now Hassan Whiteside is out as well for Utah, and they're still without Donovan Mitchell. Jordan Clarkson's questionable now, so, man, there's going to be some guys to look to from Utah. I think, we'll have to see what they do with the starting lineup. Last time, Gobert and Whiteside were both out. They started Azubuike at center in this same matchup. These teams played like a month ago. It was on, let me see. It was on January the 5th. These teams played. No Gobert, no Whiteside. Azubuike started and, only played 16 minutes. I don't think Azubuike is really going to be in play, even if he starts again. But I'm definitely looking to guys like Rudy Gay. I think Rudy Gay might get some center minutes. I think Eric Pascal might play some more without Whiteside. So, those are guys that I think are in play for value now, specifically Rudy Gay. He's shown a lot of good upside when he's gotten minutes. So I definitely like Rudy Gay now with Whiteside out. I think if Jordan Clarkson sits, he's questionable. I think Mike Conley would look like a really, really good play. Without Mitchell and without Clarkson, there'd be a lot of potential for Mike Conley. So he is someone that I would definitely have my eye on. I'm going to be paying attention to that news from Utah. And then outside of that, we still got some question marks with De'Aaron Fox, and I really think that's it. A lot of these guys are probable. So yeah, not too much news to talk about today. We'll have to keep an eye on Utah because that's definitely a big one. The Jokic news is really big. But that's all we got for news-wise. So if you guys have questions, you can start throwing those in chat. I'm going to try and answer all your guys' questions. We'll be live till about 6:30 Eastern. And hopefully we can win some money tonight, guys. Hopefully so. I got a $5 super chat from T-Money. I want to hit on this real quick. T-Money says, finally can be here for the live. This man, Noah, is the true GOAT of DFS. Pay attention now. Let's get it, fam. Hey, appreciate you, T-Money. Always appreciate your support, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat. You're a legend. Appreciate you, man. Won me some money last night. Let's go. Hey, Anthony, love to hear that, my man. Love to hear that. Would you play Embiid and run it back with Kuzma and Dinwiddie? I think if you want to play Embiid, that's totally fine. Embiid should smash here. The Wizards are not going to have an answer for him. I think there is a little bit of blowout risk in this Wizards-Sixers game. So, if Kuzma and Dinwiddie both do really well and they play their full minutes, probably means that, Embiid's doing well. So, I think it's fine to do that. I don't know if I would force it, but if you're playing Kuzma and Dinwiddie in the same lineup, if you want to run it back with Embiid, I have no problems with that. Monk Brunson or Desmond Bane, I would probably go Desmond Bane there. Small forward sucks again. Yeah, small forward's, God, really bad. You can play Jetty Osman as small forward. I think Jetty Osman's probably the best small forward play, points per dollar wise. But it sucks. It's really bad. Westbrook or LaMelo, I would probably go Westbrook there if I had to pick one. Malik Monk or Jetty Osman. That's close, Mason. Give me Jetty Osman, but that's a close one. Isaiah Jackson, Wendell Carter Jr., or Dort. Give me Isaiah Jackson. Favorite or standout plays under 9K? Under 9K, let's see. I think Karis LeVert, he's been really bad lately, but I think Karis LeVert's upside is still really high without Sabonis, without Turner, without Brogdon. So, LeVert I kind of like under 9K. I like this spot for Nurkic against the Lakers. I think that game in general, the Portland-LA game, a lot of, potential for, some big games there just because it should be a really high-scoring game. Without SGA, I still think Josh Giddey looks good. Kuzma without Beal I like. Those are some guys I like under 9K. Dinwiddie and Kuzma or Simons and Wendell Carter Jr. Give me Dinwiddie and Kuzma. Favorite shooting guard plays on Yahoo. It's probably LeVert, McCollum, Giddey. All three of those guys are priced, pretty similarly. They're all in the same price range. So those three guys I think are my favorite shooting guards. You enjoyed the Lakers game the other night, Noah? Great to see these guys in person. Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. I want to go to another game and get really good seats if possible. With it being the Lakers, the prices were pretty high. I'll be honest, because I've looked at tickets for other games, and what we paid for that game was way more than what you would pay for any other game. So I do want to go back to another game against a different team and just kind of see Jokic. I'm a big Jokic fan, so I would love to watch Jokic play in person. When I went to the Hawks-Bucks game last year, Giannis was injured, so I didn't get to watch Giannis play. I would love to go back to another game, but that was a fun one for sure. And Westbrook was great, man. It was good to see Westbrook play as well as he did. Hate that LeBron didn't play and AD didn't play, but it was still awesome. Luka or Embiid? I would take Embiid straight up. Ja, Tatum, or AD? Give me Ja there. Metu for value with Bagley out. Like, I think Metu's fine, but like last game he didn't even start. They brought him off the bench, so like I don't know if Metu really has much of a like big minute ceiling. I would feel better about Metu if he was starting. And last game they started Harkless, so like Metu, I don't think on this slate really stands out. Embiid, Luka, or Harden? Give me Embiid there. Pascal, Gay, or Gafford? I would take Rudy Gay. Love, Rozier, or Bane? Give me Desmond Bane between those three. Monk or Osman? Yeah, I think we answered that already. Give me Osman. Goodwin, Chris, Gafford can't get away from them. How do you rank them? We'll have to pay attention to the Cavs starting lineup. Like, Goodwin played really well last game. I think there's a chance they could maybe start Goodwin today, and like maybe Dean Wade goes to the bench. If Brandon Goodwin starts, I think he'll be a really good value. So like I think Brandon Goodwin will probably be my favorite guy there. Then probably Gafford, then Chris. Goodwin's my favorite of those three, though. I think all three of those guys are like on DraftKings. They're like minimum salary or close to it. Okay, we just get word from the Sixers that Seth Curry is out. So I don't know if that really changes too much, but Seth Curry is out now. So let's see. I mean, you're probably going to be looking. I mean, I think that gives a little boost to Maxey. Maybe Korkmaz goes back in the starting lineup. I don't think that changes too much from the Sixers, but now that Korkmaz is out right now, I totally forgot about that. So I don't know what, I guess, let's see, they would start Maxey, Harris, Embiid, Thibault. I guess like Danny Green would be back in the starting lineup. Yeah, I don't know if Seth Curry being out really changes too much, but it is at least worth noting. I think it does make the upside for a guy like Maxey look, higher. But Maxey's like really, really expensive, so man, even with Curry out, I don't know if I'd want to pay $7,500 for Maxey. Top spin up options for you, probably Jokic if he plays. Embiid. I think Ja in tournaments makes some sense. He should be really low owned, but definitely like Jokic and Embiid I like the most at the top. Westbrook, Irving, or LaMelo? Give me Westbrook. Mitchell on Yahoo, $12. You talking about Davion Mitchell? Yeah, Davion Mitchell. That depends on if if De'Aaron Fox is out. If De'Aaron Fox plays, I really wouldn't be going to Davion Mitchell. But I think if Fox is out, yeah, you could definitely play Mitchell. Harrell or Gafford? I mean, I think you're probably going to see the center minutes split between Harrell and Gafford. I do worry about foul trouble for Gafford going up against Embiid, which if Gafford picks up some quick fouls, I think that's really going to benefit Harrell. I don't love either one of the Washington centers tonight just because the matchup's not great. There's foul trouble risks. If I had to pick one, I probably would go Harrell if you have a salary. We think about running Tatum and Embiid. I mean, I think that's fine, George. I think Tatum's more of like a tournament play. Embiid, I think, one of the better pay-up options. It's a good matchup for Tatum, but like he's not like a priority for me. He's pretty expensive on DK. Like you're not really getting much of a discount on Tatum. Allen, CJ, or Harris. So Jared Allen, Tobias Harris, or CJ McCollum. Give me CJ McCollum there. Jetty or Mitchell? Give me Jetty. Think Kemba gets any sort of run today? I mean, Kemba's minutes have just been way down lately, so I don't really have much interest in Kemba. The Knicks in general are like one of the least appealing teams on this slate. Kuzma or Mobley? I would take Kuzma. Justin Holiday or Jetty? Give me Jetty. Any love for Rondo? I thought Rondo would play a lot last game, and he really didn't. Even with Darius Garland out, Rondo only played like 18 minutes. And I think that was just because Brandon Goodwin played so well. They might start Brandon Goodwin tonight. I don't know how many minutes Rondo really gets, just because it seems like they want to play Brandon Goodwin right now, and he played really well last game. So on this slate, I think Rondo's just kind of like a dart throw. Should I play Williams from Boston? I mean, Robert Williams, he's fine. It's a good matchup against Charlotte, but again, like I don't know if there's a ton that stands out from Boston given the pricing on everyone. Everyone's priced where they should be. LeVert, Jaylen Brown, or CJ McCollum? Probably go. That's close between LeVert and Brown. Probably would go Jaylen Brown if I had to pick one. Does LeVert finally break out tonight? I mean, it's a pretty good spot against Orlando. You know, this game does have one of the higher totals on the slate, the Magic Pacers game. Like, the Magic really don't have any great defenders, so, like, I think it is a pretty good spot for LeVert. He's been so bad lately, but, man, without Sabonis, without Brogdon, without Turner, like, his usage is just going to be massive. So I definitely think LeVert's in play today. And if he's going to be low owned, I would for sure be interested in tournaments. Also, Norman Powell and Rashawn Holmes. I mean, Norman Powell, good matchup against the Lakers. Should be a fast-paced game. He's going to play like 35, 36 minutes if it's a close game. I think he's firmly in play. Rashawn Holmes, I've just kind of been off of. His minutes have just been all over the place. I think they've kind of trended up lately. It is a good matchup against Brooklyn, but like I think Holmes is just kind of like a dart throw. But Powell, I think, is in play. I think Powell's fine. What's your best value play under 4K? Man, under 4K, God, I don't think there's too much down there. I mean, it's going to depend on, like, some news that we get. Like, if Jokic gets ruled out, I mean, that's going to give us some value down here. But right now, there isn't a ton of punt options this cheap. Yeah, like, I just don't see much down here. Because, like, if Jokic gets ruled out, you have DeMarcus Cousins, who could maybe be a value. He's 3,400. I mean, you got Daniel Gafford, who probably starts. He's 3,100, or he is starting. If Brandon Goodwin starts, I think he's 3K. Like, he probably would be my favorite value. If we get word Brandon Goodwin is starting, I think at 3K, he's like my favorite punt value. And I think there's a good chance he does start with how well he played last game without Garland. What's up, DD? What's up, my man? Who are your favorite plays from the Pacers? Probably LeVert and Isaiah Jackson, my two favorites. And those are probably really the only guys I'm interested in. I don't think I'd be going to really anyone else. Should I play Desmond Bane instead of Love? I would probably take Desmond Bane over Kevin Love. I really haven't been on Kevin Love a lot this year. His minutes have just not been that great. He's been really productive, but, man, it's just kind of like unsustainable. I mean, he's been putting up like 40 fantasy points in like 20 minutes. I just feel like that's really unsustainable. Dinwiddie or Conley? I'll take Dinwiddie for now, but I think if Jordan Clarkson gets ruled out, Conley's going to be a pretty good play. And I do want to kind of save some spots in my lineup for some of those late games because there's a lot of news in that late game, so that could impact some things. Any interest in Julius Randle or Triple J or completely different power forward option around $30 on Yahoo? I mean, I think Julius Randle's fine there. Julius Randle's been really bad lately, but he is pretty cheap on Yahoo for, you know, when you look at his season-long averages and, you know, what he averages on the season, he's definitely underpriced on Yahoo. Now, I know he's been really bad lately, but I do like that price point. I would take him over Triple J straight up. I mean, you compare the prices on DraftKings, like Randle is $9K on DraftKings. On Yahoo, he's $30, which is like $7K, so he's definitely underpriced there. Harris or Kuzma? I would take Kuzma. Maxey or Westbrook? I mean, definitely go Westbrook if you have salary. Zaire Williams makes sense for value. Man, I don't think I'd go there. Even though Zaire Williams has been starting, like his upside is just so minimal. Just not a guy that I really ever play. We think about Tatum and Embiid together on Yahoo. I mean, I think that would be contrarian. I think we answered that already. Embiid I like. Tatum I'm not as high on, but it's your lineup, man. You do what you want. Harold Holmes or Mitchell? If we know De'Aaron Fox is out, I would take Davion Mitchell. I'm here close to Orlando. I've been able to get a lot of games this season. Got good seats for all of them. Best one was the Denver game. Hey, yeah, like that's the thing. Like Magic games, Pistons games, Rockets games. Like I've seen the tickets for those, and they're like really, really cheap. So that I feel like that would be really cool to, like, you know, it's not going to cost you nearly as much money to sit, you know, to get really good seats for those type of games. You know, where I live in South Carolina, if I want to go to a game, I'm either going to a Hawks game or a Hornets game because those are like the two closest stadiums. And tickets usually, depending on who they play, you know, sometimes they'll be kind of cheap. But definitely what I paid is, like, you know, way more than what you would normally pay for any other game just because we watch the Lakers. Tickets are just always more expensive for the Lakers games. Brunson or Powell? I would probably go Brunson there if you have a salary. Wendell Carter, Anthony Simons, give me Simons. Bane or Brunson? Slight lean to Bane. Luka or Harden? Give me Luka. Favorite guard under 4K? I mean, if Brandon Goodwin starts, he's probably my favorite guard under 4K. Besides Isaiah Jackson, are you on any other Pacers? I think LeVert's in play, but that's probably it. It's probably just LeVert and Jackson for me, and that's really the only guys I'm considering from Indiana. You like Luka on Yahoo even though there is blowout risk? I mean, I think Luka's still a pretty good pay-up option. He's not like the top of my list. I think I would put Embiid ahead of him. I'd put Jokic ahead of him, but Luka's firmly in play. I mean, his role is just going to be massive, you know, without Porzingis. Marquise Chris. I'm not really on Marquise Chris. You know, he was really, really productive last game, but he only played like 17 minutes. So, like, do I expect Marquise Chris to come out here and put up, you know, 2 fantasy points per minute? I don't think so. I mean, he put up literally 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, and 4 steals in 19 minutes. I mean, that's just like unsustainable. Nobody is going to average those type of numbers, you know, in 19 minutes. He might play more without Porzingis, but I think, you know, 16 to 18 minutes is probably where you project Marquise Chris today. And at 3K, like, I just don't know if that's really something I'm that excited about. It's a 9-game slate. Like, I don't think I need to be playing 16 minutes of Marquise Chris on a 9-game slate. That's just me, you know, me personally. Osman or Powell at power forward on FanDuel. So, Jetty Osman or Norman Powell? I mean, if they're the same price, I would take Norman Powell. If that's Dwight Powell, then I would definitely take Jetty Osman over Dwight Powell. Any interest in Kleber for value? Not really. Like, Maxi Kleber is just such a low upside player. He just, when he's on the court, man, he just doesn't do anything. He just stands in the corner. He shoots threes. He'll, you know, grab rebounds. You'll get lucky every now and then, and he'll have those games where he gets like, you know, 3-4 blocks. But Kleber is just a guy that I really never get excited to roster. LeVert or Ja? I would take Ja if you have a salary. Pascal or Gay? Give me Rudy Gay. Can you rate your favorite Pacers on Yahoo? I mean, the only 2 Pacers I like are LeVert and Isaiah Jackson. And I think both those guys are firmly in play. Isaiah Jackson, for sure, my favorite play from Indiana. Assuming that, you know, that he starts at center again. Thoughts on Malik Monk? I mean, I think Malik Monk's viable. Without LeBron, I'm guessing he starts again. He played huge minutes last game against Atlanta. He was great. He shot the ball really well. You know, Malik Monk's a good shooter. When he gets hot, you know, he can put up big games like we saw last game. There's going to be opportunity, you know, without LeBron. The matchup's good against Portland. Should be a fast-paced game. Like, I think Malik Monk's fine, for sure. Jalen Green, yeah, dude, no interest in Jalen Green for me. I mean, Houston, man, like, God, I just really don't want to be rostering anyone from Houston. I think the one guy you could maybe roster is Kevin Porter Jr., just because, you know, there is a narrative of him facing Cleveland, you know, the team that cut him. And KPJ supposedly, like, during interviews, he was saying, like, he's been ready to play Cleveland. I think last time they played Cleveland, KPJ was out. Like, I think the narrative of KPJ facing Cleveland, the team that cut him, you know, there's a narrative there, but that's like the only Rocket I think I'd be playing today would be KPJ. Do you like Rozier? Not really. Like, I don't really like much from the Hornets. It's a tough matchup against Boston. Everyone's priced where I think they should be. Kelly Oubre is going to be back today, so I don't really like Rozier that much. Would you pay up for a shooting guard on Yahoo? Are there any values? I would probably try to be paying up. You know, LeVert, CJ McCollum, Giddey. Those are the guys I'd be looking to at shooting guard, if you can fit them. I don't think there's really much value at shooting guard on Yahoo, if I remember correctly. Thoughts on my Yahoo lineup: Westbrook, Suggs, Bullock, Osman, Kuzma, Isaiah Jackson, Embiid, Bogdanovich. Reggie Bullock, man, like, I don't think I'd play Reggie Bullock if that was my lineup. But the rest I think's good. You know, I think the rest of those guys are all viable. Morant or Tatum? I liked Morant. I would take Morant over Tatum. Lakers game was a rip. I was hurt. I didn't see Bron pay $1,200. Dude, it was so bad, man. I paid more than that. Yeah, unfortunate. It was looking like LeBron wasn't even going to play, or wasn't even going to be there. Like, the game had already started, and, you know, LeBron wasn't even on the floor. And I think like 3 or 4 minutes into the game, I wasn't even paying attention. I was like watching the game, and I just hear a bunch of people start screaming. So I look to my left, and I see LeBron coming out of the tunnel. Hate he didn't get to play, but it is what it is. Suns tickets were cheap 5 years back. I bet so. Yeah, I bet so. Like, I bet you now, like, Suns tickets are not that cheap because they're a really good team now. But yeah, like 5 years ago when it was fucking Tyler Ulis and Dragon Bender and Tyson Chandler, like, I remember those days. Eric Bledsoe, I remember those days. Suns were so bad. I mean, they've completely, like, turned their franchise around. You love to see it. Ever since they got Chris Paul, they've just been, like, a totally different team. KPJ or Cole Anthony? I'd take Cole Anthony straight up. Thoughts on Pascal and Gay? I mean, I think without Whiteside, you know, without Rudy Gobert, like, they're going to get minutes. Between the two, I would prefer Rudy Gay. But I think you probably get, like, 25, 26 minutes from Rudy Gay. Probably 22, 24 from Pascal. Both are fine. I prefer Rudy Gay, though. Who should I play at guard at 3K? I mean, if you're looking for a 3K guard, your best option is probably Brandon Goodwin. Does Rondo see the minutes increase with Osman being terrible from the field? I don't think so. I think the reason Rondo didn't play as much last game was just because Brandon Goodwin played so well. If Brandon Goodwin doesn't play as good today, like that could definitely mean more minutes for Rondo. But I think Cedi Osman's going to play big minutes regardless. He's been a stable part of the rotation. He's gotten minutes, even when they've been healthy. And now without Garland, like I think Osman's going to play big minutes regardless. I think Rondo's minutes will kind of depend on how Brandon Goodwin plays. Because if Brandon Goodwin struggles, I think that could lead to more minutes for Rondo. Thoughts on Dorian Finney-Smith? I mean, not that interested in, personally. Like, I think the one guy I'd be looking to from the Mavs is probably Luka. I don't like too much else outside of Luka. I think Brunson's okay, but DFS is just not someone I'm that interested in today. Trent Taylor for the Pacers, I don't think I'd go there. I'm guessing he was just like the backup 5 last game, or Terry Taylor. I mean, he played 21 minutes as the backup 5, I think. I think they might have played him a little bit alongside Isaiah Jackson. I mean, O'Shea Brissett's out again, so like Terry Taylor probably plays like 20 minutes again, but yeah, like I just don't think I need to go there on a 9-game slate. Bane or LeVert? I would take LeVert. You think Jokic will be somewhat low on with the Q tag? I would think so. I can look at his ownership right now. I don't think it would be that high. Right now, Jokic is coming in with, 9.8% ownership. And, the longer it is that we have to wait for Jokic news, I mean, that is one of the 10 o'clock games. So we have 3 10 o'clock games tonight, and, Denver plays at 10 o'clock. So if we don't have news on Jokic before lock or even after lock, he's going to be low owned. And right now, he's already projecting for less than 10% ownership. You like Allen or Mobley more? Probably would go Jared Allen if I had to choose between the two. How you like Isaiah Jackson? I mean, I think Isaiah Jackson's a pretty good play. He started at center last game without Goga and without Sabonis. He played good minutes. He stayed out of foul trouble. He was really productive. Isaiah Jackson's been really productive when he's gotten minutes this year. It's just that foul trouble has been an issue for him. But last game, he stayed out of foul trouble, and you saw what happened. So I think as long as Isaiah Jackson can stay out of foul trouble again, he's got big-time upside. You like anyone from Brooklyn, Sacramento? I mean, from Brooklyn, Harden and Kyrie are fine, but they're not like my favorite pay-up options. I think Halliburton and Davion Mitchell would look pretty solid if De'Aaron Fox gets ruled out. If De'Aaron Fox plays, I don't really like anything from Sacramento at that point. No Wood on Yahoo, $29, or bad Wood with a tough matchup. It's just a tough spot for Christian Wood. I think the price tag looks appealing, but like Jared Allen on the other side of that game is a little bit cheaper. I would probably play Jared Allen over Christian Wood on Yahoo, I think. Wood or Embiid? Definitely go Embiid if you have salary. You like Ja? I mean, I think Ja is always in play. On this slate, I think he's going to be pretty low owned. Against the Knicks, it's not like the best spot because the Knicks do play really slow, but in Madison Square Garden on national TV, like you would think this is a game that Ja really wants to play well in. I think he's a fine tournament play, but I would definitely put guys like Jokic and Embiid and probably even Luka ahead of Ja. Claxton or Griffin for value? I think Claxton's okay. I kind of liked Claxton last slate, but I think on this slate specifically, Claxton doesn't stand out as much, especially since his price has come up a little bit. He got into some foul trouble last night. I want to say he would have played like probably 25, 26 minutes had he not been in foul trouble. I can't remember how many he played total. I know Blake Griffin did play really well. So Claxton played 19 last game, and that was in foul trouble. So he probably plays like 25 minutes. At 4,600, like I don't think Claxton really stands out. Same with Blake Griffin. Goodwin or Mitchell if Fox is out? If we know Fox is out, I would take Mitchell. But the thing is, we're not going to get news on Fox till probably way after lock, after the Cavs game has already started. So you're kind of just rolling the dice there. But if we knew before lock that Fox was out, I would play Mitchell over Goodwin. Brandon Knight too. Yeah, Brandon Knight. He was on the Suns team. Yeah, man. Like I remember that was when I was, starting to get into DFS. Cause like they were just so fucking bad. They had like Dragon Bender. That was when Marquise Chris was on the Suns. That was when Devin Booker was like, that was like his rookie year or maybe his second year. I remember those days, man. The Suns were so bad. But Devin Booker was, one of their bright spots. And I do remember, Eric Bledsoe, Tyler Ulis, those guys being on the Suns. Eric Pascal or Dwight Powell? Give me Pascal if I had to pick one. Forward 7K and under. Let's see. If we get word Steven Adams is out, I probably would play Triple J, because I think Triple J, without Steven Adams, his upside is way higher. They probably would start him at center. We've seen Triple J have really good games in the past whenever Steven Adams is out. So, yeah, I think Triple J would be pretty good if Steven Adams sits. Ja, Harden, or Irving? Give me Ja there. Thoughts on Tatum and Brown together? Man, I don't think I'd do that. If you're playing Tatum and Brown together, you probably want to, like, at that point, you want to play someone on Charlotte because you're just assuming it's like a really, really high-scoring game, which it could be, but I don't think on a 9-game slate I'd be playing Tatum and Brown together. Marc Gasol, good for value. Marc Gasol, not on the team, my man. Or he might be on like the roster, but yeah, he's not an active player for Memphis anymore. You like Luka tonight or Ja? I mean, I think both are in play. Between the two, I would probably take Luka straight up, but I think both are viable. Darthor, Util, DK 3200. I mean, yeah, if you're going that cheap, you're probably looking to like Brandon Goodwin. If Brandon Goodwin starts, he's going to be my favorite value that cheap. Or you could go to Gafford. Like Goodwin or Gafford, those are probably your two best bets down there. Embiid, Kuzma, Davis, or Luka, Kuzma, and Embiid. So Davis versus Luka, I would take Luka over AD straight up. Any interest in Simons tonight? I think Anthony Simons, in this matchup against the Lakers is a pretty good play, and I think he's underpriced as well. He's 6,500, whereas like CJ McCollum's like 8K or 8,100. Like I think I'd probably play Simons over McCollum just for the discounted price. It's a really good matchup. Should be a fast-paced game. I think we could see a lot of guys do well in that Portland LA game if it stays close and we get full minutes from all the starters. Westbrook, AD, Nurk, McCollum, CJ, Simons. Like I think those guys all are viable. Okay, Robert Williams, Dennis Schroeder are both available as expected. Sixers will start Maxey, Green, Thibault, Harrison, and Embiid. So they're starting Danny Green in place of Curry. So I don't think that makes me really want to play Danny Green. But I think Maxey's minutes upside is massive. Like Maxey might play 40 minutes tonight with Curry out. It's just that you're really paying a lot for Maxey right now. But all right, guys, I think I'm gonna hop off here. We've been live for about 30 minutes or so. I think I was able to answer everyone's questions. Once again, guys, appreciate all your support. Appreciate all you tuning in. We'll be live again tomorrow, an hour before lock. I hope to see you guys in the stream tomorrow. Best of luck. See you guys then. Peace out.